Have you used Prismacolors in the past but found that when you apply some pressure to the tip of the pencil will break? Have you found that when you shade and try to create a smooth burnishing effect, your wrists start to ache? In this clip, I will go through some key tips that will help you get success with your Prismacolor work, and also a bonus feature, I will also show you how to create a wide variety of skin tones. So let's get on with the clip. So before we get started, I just want to show you a couple of images that I drew recently, just to show you the variety that you can achieve. So these ones I drew as a part of a Christmas series, and they were on brown paper. Now the reason I'm showing you these is just to show you what your images can look like if you draw them on brown paper, and also you have the contrasting image on the white paper. So this is how they can look, and you can achieve different effects. One of the first things I did when I got my Prismacolors was to organise them and to complete this colour chart. It was the only way that I could find to get a true indication of what the colours were like, and also I use it whenever I'm doing a colour image so that I can get an accurate idea of what the colours look like, because on a few of the colours they look very different on the outer casing as to what the colour actually is when you shade it. So if you would be interested in getting one of these colour charts, there is a link in the description below, and that will take you directly to the colour chart, and you can print it off for yourself. One reason that people often give up on Prismacolors is that they find that either the pencil lead snaps quite frequently, or when they're shading and burnishing they end up with a debris of pencil lead or pencil wax, whatever you want to call it, with it being a wax-based pencil. Now, the reason that this can often happen is because the pencil hasn't been sharpened in the correct way. This sharpener here is by a company called Tijal, and if you set it correctly, you'll see here that I've set it to the setting of 1, and when it gets into focus. That means that it is at the correct setting for the Prismacolor. Now, previously when I got my pencils originally, I was using my Derwent manual helical sharpener, and that's what I normally use when I'm using Faber-Castells or Caran d'Ache or any other pencil. And it's fine for those pencils that have a hard lead, but Prismacolor has a very soft core, and because of that it needs to be sharpened in a particular way. So before you start using Prismacolors, you need to make sure that you have sharpened it in the correct way. I can highly recommend this pencil sharpener because it's excellent value for the sharpening that it provides. However, there is the Prismacolor official sharpener, or there are other sharpeners on the market, but this one I've had for over 6 months now, and it has been incredibly good. And I use it quite frequently, so I can thoroughly recommend this sharpener. So another reason that people sometimes give up on Prismacolors is that they will apply too much pressure to the pencil, and they will end up with a really dark effect. As I mentioned earlier, Prismacolors are a wax-based pencil with a soft core, which means that they need to be used in a particular way. So I am shading very lightly with my pencil, and you will see it's dark at one end and light at another, but that's because I've layered the pencil several times, and I'm again going in with the red pencil now, and I'm shading, but I'm putting a little bit of pressure on. This is not too much pressure at all, and then I'm gradually taking the pressure off. So if you want to achieve a dark effect, and especially with what I was saying earlier about the fact that what sometimes people do is they apply a lot of pressure, and then after about 5 or so minutes they say that their wrists start to hurt. And that is because they are unnecessarily applying a lot of pressure when they don't need to. What you could do alternatively is use some solvent and a blending stump, and that will achieve the blended effect for you. You can also add several thin layers without applying too much pressure, but I'm showing you one alternative technique here, which is using some solvent and a blending stump. But I will also later, when we go through skin tones, be showing you how to add several layers but lightly. and then what you do is you gradually put some more pressure on until you get to the end. And my wrist didn't hurt at all. So it's just about, rather than putting one thick layer on and damaging the tooth of the paper, so you wouldn't be able to put any more layers on at all, you just build your layers up gradually. So I'm going to be doing 4 different skin tones. One's a light skin tone, then a mid-tone, a light brown and a dark brown. All the pencils that I will be using in this section you would find in the Portraits pencil set, apart from one colour, which is Nectar. I've started this light skin tone by going in with the darkest tone in this set, which is Nectar, and then I have gone in with Peach. I'm gradually layering them over the top so that they blend one colour into the next. I'm then going in with light peach, and I will finally go in with the cream colour. I'm then going back over, as I said, it's all about layering up lightly, and then I go over the final section with white to blend all of the colours together. So for the second skin tone, I'm going to start by adding a layer of cream, and then I'm going in with the dark brown, and then the light umber, burnt sienna, and then the dark brown again, then the burnt ochre, salmon pink, and then the cream again to lighten things up, and then the peach, then the dark brown, then the sienna brown to warm things up, then the dark brown to draw it all together. Then finally I will blend all the colours together by going over the skin tone with the white at the top where the highlight is, and then the cream over the rest of it to blend it all together. So for this next warmer skin tone, I'm starting with dark brown, and I'm then going in with Tuscan red, and this will warm this skin tone up. I will then go over the Tuscan red with a burnt ochre, and then I will go over that with salmon pink, and I'm now going back over that again with the burnt sienna, and then back over with the Tuscan red, and I will continue to layer, and then finally I will go back over and blend the skin tones, this time not with a lighter colour but with the browns and the red tones, until I'm happy with my skin tone. So I'm going to get starting by blocking in the colours really lightly with salmon pink using overhand grip and burnt ochre. Just adding a really light layer, and obviously this isn't as dark as it's going to get, but I'm adding the darkest areas, blocking them in really lightly first. Then I'm going to go in with dark umber, dark brown, and then gradually layer that up until we get all the way to the top, and then I will finally add some light umber when we get to the top and gradually shade that, adding less pressure as I get towards the top. And then just layer over the top each time, adding more and more layers, layering the light umber, the dark brown towards the bottom. And just gradually, as we're finishing this off, just add more pressure until everything starts to burnish and blend together. So here are all the finished skin tones. This even tone, this variety of tone, has only been achieved by gradually adding those variety of tones. If I'd have gone straight in with a dark tone, we wouldn't have had this varied tone. It's only done gradually, and by gradually adding the tone, you save your wrists from aching. If you enjoyed this clip, then make sure you check out more clips like this in the Colour Pencil playlist. Don't forget to look in the description below for details of products used in today's clip, and if you have any ideas for content or questions, leave a comment below. Finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of future content. Also, you can now check out my Patreon for exclusive content including real-time content and more.